We got a promo for The Flash 9/10 titled New World Part 1. This promo was amazing. I think it's probably the best promo we've had, well, with the exception of the 909 promo. I think it's the best promo that this season has had. Matt is back as Reverse Flash, which we knew he would be. Eric Wallace threw that out there earlier on. But I was not expecting A, him to be in 910, and B, it to be in the year 2000 on our Earth. I was expecting from this episode, because I knew that Nora and Henry, Barry's parents, were in this episode. I was assuming this episode was based on their Earth, where they're alive, it's in present day. I wasn't expecting actually Barry going back to that night and Matt Thawne is keeping him there. Now, why Matt Thawne is doing this, who the hell knows? But this is Thawne. Barry is back in the year 2000 before his parents die. And Thawne is not there to kill Barry's parents, but to kill his younger self. So this Thawne has not lived through season 1 through 9. He's only lived through pre-season 1, which is before he murdered Barry's mother. Which means, and it's just me thinking, we should see Barry and Thawne fight in that house again. Which would be a full-on, like, speedster-throwing, punch-fighting fight. Right? I would hope so, because we've been waiting years for this. So, who the hell knows? But if they do that in this episode, that or 9/11, because really, who knows right now? We could see that iconic moment from 123 where future Barry runs in and tells past Barry to stop trying to save his mom. Remember that? It was so cool and emotional. We could see that, but with our Barry in the current suit. Which is personally what I want. And I'd love to see that. Not just a reshot of 123 scenes, because that wouldn't really work. Because A, the suits, and B, the CGI. I mean, the CGI in 123 was amazing, but, like, we're past that. Like, we're I mean, it might not look great, but I'd rather have today's CGI than old CGI, especially when it's an old suit. Like, I think it'd be so much more sentimental to see our Barry in his current suit telling past Barry in his season 1 suit to just stop. Don't save your mother, let it all play out. I would assume that's the route Barry's going to go, but you can definitely tell that Barry's pissed off in this episode at Thawne, which I think he has every right to be. I mean, Thawne is dragging him to the year 2000, where he has to just spend the entire day just waiting till his parents get murdered. It is an interesting thing, because do we really know if that's what happened that night, that day? Like, where Barry just stuck there that entire day? I would assume not. But it is interesting that Thawne is just straight up showing Barry, like, hey, I'm here. Like, you would think that they would be chasing each other, that they would, you know, that, or maybe Barry ends up in whatever timeline this Thawne is from, and that, like, the future timeline, like 2040 something, or 2100, or 200 years from now, and they end up chasing back to that night. Maybe that's how that works. I mean, I want an origin story. This isn't really an origin story. This is a repeat of what we've gotten in season 1 and 2 and 3. I mean, I'm here for it, you know. I'm sure Matt will most likely be in 9/11, unless they're going to write him off. But, I mean, this is the beginning of season 1 here. You know. This will all connect back to season 1. You know, 9 years in the making, but it will inevitably all connect back to 901, or the pilot in season 1 and season 2 with this Thawne, Which, I mean, if it was Tom's Thawne, it wouldn't have worked. I mean, we can all agree on that. This is the only arc that they had left from Matt Thawne besides an actual origin story. But again, they don't seem to be doing that. They seem to be doing a full-on year 2000, you know, Barry's parents being murdered, or Barry trying to save his past self because Thawne doesn't know that doesn't work. That, or this is our Thawne, which wouldn't really work, and he's there to fully try to kill Barry as his younger self. Why would he bring Barry there? I don't know. But again, why would Thawne bring Barry there, period? That doesn't work. You know, well, I mean, I guess it does work, but I hope they explain why Thawne is bringing him here, let alone our Barry. Like, is he present-day Barry? Is that why? Like, the original timeline Barry, is this what we're getting here? You know, except it's going to change because he won't die? Like, is that what they're going down? I mean, if it is, it's cool, I'll accept it. But, like, they need to explain now. You know? Whereas, like, 909, they put, like, 3 explanations in. We didn't really need any of them. I mean, it was good, but, you know. Now in 910, we need the explanations. Probably won't get any. Like, I really do hope they explain stuff, because this is going to be a mess if it's not. And it's going to create a lot of loopholes. But 911, you know, is part 2, 912 is part 3, and 913 is obviously part 4. Like, that's what we're dealing with. It's just, I really hope that this all works out the way I think we all want it to work out. Which is not Barry dying, but Barry going back to that night, saving his younger self, and then, you know, going on from there. And it's what we all want to see, to be honest. You know, or that's just me. What do I know? But if they don't do that, I would be generally disappointed. Now, they could do it in 9/11. I don't remember if we even got set photos for 9/11. Or no, we did, because it's featuring Eddie in 9/11. Well, he's in 9/12, or in 9/10 too, I think, so. But this is also the beginning of the Cobalt Blue arc, because in the promo, you see that blue crystal. Now, we know that Joe picks it up. That doesn't really mean anything. It just, you know, means it's there. Which is why I assumed this was like another Earth, where Barry's parents are alive, because this would be Cobalt Blue, you know. But the fact that it is Barry at that night, I do kind of wonder if maybe that blue crystal finds Eddie in that time since Barry's there. Matt Thawne doesn't realize that, what he just created. And Barry doesn't either till like 9/12. And that's when Cobalt Blue comes in and, you know. Granted, I would like it if Cobalt Blue was in more than 2 episodes. But if they do 9/10 and 9/11 right, I will be okay with it. I mean, this is the last arc of The Flash. Like they cannot had to go back to that night and just not kill Barry. Right? That's the number one thing here. You can't kill Barry in this season because it vetoed what Our Sacrifice did in Crisis. That was literally set up in 909. It shined a bright light on it. So, at the end of the day, you know, Barry's not going to become that lightning bolt that struck him in the pilot, or Arrow 210, or whatever it was. And how the hell, you know, you would assume that there'll be time travel, Barry going through the Speed Force, which would be an amazing scene if it is. But, you know, and again, if we do get a fight between Barry and Thawne in this episode in Barry's house as Thawne's trying to murder his mother, it will be all CGI, which I'm personally okay with, because it'd probably be longer, you would think. That, or they're going to try to go back to like OG speedster fights and just now do CGI where they're doing their own stunts. You know? But, I mean, they do a lot of CGI fights now, which I think is good, because it opens up the possibilities. I know a lot of you agree with that, but you know, I think for a classic speedster fight that we've been setting up for almost a decade, I think it's fair to say that we need to have a OG speedster fight between Barry and this Thawne. Assuming they film in that house, we need a fight like we got in 123, where Barry and Thawne were full on fighting in that house, or wherever episodes they were fighting in that house, where they like break through that window, punch each other to the ground or the ceiling, and then run around Nora. It would be cool if they made it a longer fight than what we saw when we saw clips of it. Because the thing is, we're not focusing on a past Barry. We're focusing on our Barry fighting Thawne in that house, running around Barry's mother. I mean, that's easily like a 5-minute fight right there. If they really truly want to do that, 5-minute fight right there. You don't blow your budget on it. You blow your budget at 909. Make it an OG speedster fight. Get stunt coordinators in. Get your stunt doubles in if you need them. Jesus, like, we need that done. We shouldn't be looping around a speedster fight, cutting to past Barry when he's not the main focus here. Our Barry is the main focus. And we need to see that fight. It's also interesting that Barry and Thawne are standing what I believe to be in front of Barry's mother's house at night. So I would assume, and Barry's in a suit and Thawne's in the suit, whereas early in the promo they weren't. So I think it's fair to say that Barry and Thawne are 100% going to be fighting in that house in this episode. I also think it's fair to say, because they show Thawne running, and like you can tell he's losing speed. The effects look like season 1, like that kind of, nostalgic feeling. They want to do that CGI now. So I am kind of questioning, like, is this in this episode where Thawne's running and losing speed? Because if it is, that 100% confirms that they are fighting in that house. If it's not, well, then we don't know. But I do think they are teasing that, which means I don't think it will happen. Is it in 910 or is it in 911? I would like it to be in 910, but, it's whatever we gotta deal with. But again, this is an amazing promo. And I think after 909, they needed to come back hardball with 910, and they're doing that now. It's just, where the hell was this the last 8 episodes? Like, holy crap. Like, seriously, what were the writers thinking in the first 8 episodes of this season? Like, seriously? But, whatever. We're getting the good stuff now. I'm here for it. And, thank you guys for watching. Have a good day. Have a good night. Just safe. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.